Here we have a 2012 Seadoo Challenger. I believe last year they were made by Seadoo. It's got the Fortec supercharged engine in it, and it came in for some service some time ago, and the infamous jet pump cavitation. You'd give it gas real slow, the boat would slowly get on plane, but as soon as you throttled it up, you know, it would just cavitate and blow out, and it was just frustrating. And there's a lot of people out there that are suffering. Well, maybe not a lot, a few people out there suffering. Everybody's looking for the resolution. Several people have posted resolutions. One of the best resolutions I saw was a different pitched impeller, and I feel like that may have been because somebody had the wrong impeller in it on his, but I don't know for sure. So you need to try to find that video also and look at that. It may not have been a video, I think it was a forum. So we ensured that we had the right impeller, and we replaced the wear ring, and we inspected all the components, and we put a brand new OEM impeller in it. And the customer took it out and ran it and said it was much, much better, but yet it suffered the same failure again almost immediately with just in moments. He got frustrated with this boat and he sold the boat, and the new owner came over here and said, hey, y'all worked on this boat, blah, blah, blah. So we said, man. So I looked up inside the jet pump, and the wear ring had some unusual wear inside of it. But typically you would just think, oh, it's got another bad wear ring. They got something in it and the wear ring wore out. Maybe he sucked something up initially when he first tried it, the previous owner, and just wasn't aware of it. But we went ahead and pulled the drive shaft out, which, you know, is pretty common to go ahead and do. And we've had the drive shaft out of this boat before, but we didn't have a lathe. We didn't have dial indicators. We didn't have the right tools to turn that shaft to check it to see if it was warped. And lo and behold, it's warped about 60 thousandths of an inch from end to end, which was causing the impeller to wobble around inside of the wear ring, causing the unusual wear in the wear ring. So we went to SBT this time. We bought a new drive shaft and a new wear ring. Our impeller was perfectly fine. And now prior to testing, this boat wouldn't produce any thrust. It was just really very obvious in the tank that it just wasn't doing what it was supposed to do. Therefore, you know, justifying the customer's complaint. We have not taken this boat on the lake ourselves. But we wanted to post this video because apparently nothing ever got caught in the jet pump. Nothing was ever sucked inside of there. Nothing ever happened that anybody knows of that would cause the drive shaft to bend. Now, if you sucked a rope in there or a bag, you know, or not a bag, but like a, you know, anything heavy that would cause that drive shaft to cause it to warp. It's not that long of a shaft. It's maybe less than 3 feet. But at any rate, so we ran this boat, we pulled it out, we looked at the wear ring looks perfect, no wobbling, no nothing. And I want to start it up and show you what kind of thrust this thing will make. And it'll still hit the rev limiter, but that's because it's not under load. Jet skis will do the same thing. I'm sorry, not under a moving load. That's Joseph up there. Go ahead and start it up, Joseph. Battery's a little low, it sounds like. So now it's in the neutral position, so this is what we want to see out of the back in neutral position. Let's go ahead and put it in reverse for a second. Now let's show reverse. Okay, that's in reverse. You see the water pitching, you know, sideways to bring the boat backwards. Okay, back to forward, please. And there's forward. You can hear the positive engagement. And now we start creating some thrust. So this is at idle. This is even better than what we had before. You can see the water all the way back there, you know, which is probably 15 feet or so. Okay, let's give it a little RPMs. Come on, bring it on up. Bring it on up. Now we can see we're moving plenty of water. What RPM is that?
4,000.
That's about 4,000 RPMs. So we got a nice amount of thrust coming out of this thing. Excuse our weeds and my old junk parts truck. That's at 4,000 RPM. Let's bring it up to about 6 or until the rev limiter comes in. These are supercharged engines, so they'll blow the prop out. That's 6,000 right there. I mean, that's a considerable amount of thrust that we have not seen out of this boat since its previous owner. So, hate to admit it, but we obviously have missed that bent shaft. We're only human, we make mistakes. But it appears that this cavitation problem may be resolved. Anybody out there that's having cavitation problems with these boats need to pull that drive shaft out and put it in something like a lathe or with some dial indicators and spin it and look for anything out of round. I mean, it should be dead straight, not any play at all. I mean, any movement. Bring it up to the rev limiter. Joseph, what RPM is that? 8. That's 8,000. Now we're losing a little bit of thrust, it looks like, and that's probably because she's cavitating. Bring it to 7. 7. So the propeller's grabbing water again. He's struggling getting it to 7. There's 7. So now you hear it still trying to kick out, but once again the boat's not moving, so it's just recirculating water. But that looks pretty good. So we're hopeful that this is going to correct the problem completely for the customer. I feel like it's going to, because I've never seen this boat push water like this. I hope this helps somebody with the 2012s. With their cavitation problems, to look at the drive shaft, look at the wear ring, replace the impeller with the OEM one. I also wanted to note also on this boat from Seadoo, you know, there's a lot of talk about resealing the pump shoe with silicone. That's important, you know, because you don't want it to suck any air. But we resealed this one a couple of times without any change, so we're still confident that that bent drive shaft probably has been a problem since day one. And we also noted that the manufacturer had drilled the jet pump drive shaft hole in the wrong place during manufacturing and put the plug back in and fiberglassed over it on the inside of the boat. And I mean, literally, I mean, it would have never went together because it was literally like 2 inches too high. So that was a real screw up by Seadoo on that one. But this is a pretty nice boat, and I hope it resolves the problem. I hope this helps anybody, and thanks for watching.